So yeah, so we'll probably do only one more team meeting this year on the 15th, and then that'll be it. We're gonna be giving away. Sorry, not giving away. We're gonna be issuing people that have achieved a lot this year a certificate of achievement. We haven't done that before, so I thought that'd be nice to do something like that for everybody, because we've taken a few new people on this year, and some people performed really well, and we've had some people overseas as well and things like that. So we've done some certificates up as a thank you to say, well done. You've done really well, and then so we're going to be issuing those. I'll set up some Christmas party stuff. Last year was a bit hit and miss. I set it up, and then I think it was just us in Brisbane that went out, really. Like the people in other parts of the country, I don't think they did anything. It was just us that went out. So I'll do another like get together thing and make some suggestions, and then I'll leave it at that. Then whatever anybody wants to do. If they want to go out, they can go out. If they don't want to go out, that's all right. Because I know sometimes people go away for Christmas and all that sort of stuff. So we're officially be shutting the office down after the 18th, and it won't be open from the 19th up until the 9th of January. So there'll still be stuff going on in the background. There'll still be leads coming in and all the rest of it from all the adverts. Everything will still running, but you can work if you want to work. But in all honesty, I'd have a break, and then when you come back, you should have a ton of fresh leads and stuff to work on straight away then. What else was I going to say? Has anybody got any questions about having time off and all that sort of stuff? I'm going to go with no. That's all right. So the next thing was we're looking at hopefully starting to get the TV show organised at the beginning of next year, I think from February onwards. So you said that your husband was available.
Yeah.
Have you got like a female that can be in the thing with him to pretend to be his missus?
I'll ask him.
It doesn't have to be his sister or anything weird. I don't know.
That's fine. I can ask one of my friends. So that's not a problem.
Well, if he can play like one of your clients, because if you've got a client who doesn't really want to be on TV, but they're happy for you to sort of pretend that that's them, then that's all good. You can do that. I don't know.
No, that's fine. No problem. I'll find someone.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and then we'll get some other people lined up, and the format of the show will be probably slightly changed, because we'll have some first-time buyers, and then we'll also have some investors as well, to make it a bit of a mixture. And then we're going to try and showcase a little bit more of other things, so it won't be just house and land packages. It'll be the fact that we do apartments and all this other stuff as well, because what you want to be able to show to the general public is you're not a one-trick pony. You've got multiple developers and builders that you work with, and you can sell multiple types of properties in multiple locations, because you want to be a one-stop shop for investors and first-time buyers. So we'll incorporate that into it. But so far we've got the main sponsor from Dubai, and I spoke to a girl yesterday, and she's lining up for other companies to look to sponsor the show as well. So we should be all good for that. And then we've got an estimation of probably 200,000 leads off the back of that TV show. So it's going to be very good. It's going to make a massive difference to the business, that is. So yeah, so as I say, I think with timeline we'll probably be looking from February. So if anybody gets anybody lined up between now and then that wants to be on the TV show, let me know, because then I'll incorporate that into the mix. What else was I going to say? I don't know how everybody's tracking for leads and stuff like that at the moment. There's still been plenty of leads coming through. If anybody needs help with the buyer's agent, we've got a new buyer's agent, Diane, that can help you. So if you can get some sort of kickback out of that if she steps in as a buyer's agent, because we've had a few people where they want to buy an existing property instead of a brand new property. And I've always said that's probably the best thing to do is to use a buyer's agent. But Simon is a buyer's agent as well, but I don't know how active Simon is. But I do know that Diane works full time as a buyer's agent. So if you need somebody, then Diane can help you. Say again.
Richard. Diane's the one to go to then.
Yeah, Diane's the one. Like, if this person says, "Oh, I thought the advert was for an existing house," you go, "Okay, well, I'll pass you on to Diane, and she'll help you out."
Does she cover the whole of Australia?
Yeah, she can. Yeah, she can. She can cover the whole lot. Yeah, she can cover the whole of Australia. Because a buyer's agent is basically somebody that's sitting there doing the research on all the different locations and stuff, and that's all they do. It can all be done online. Anybody can be a buyer's agent, really. Like, I know Simon went and did a course and all that sort of stuff, but in all honesty, it isn't rocket science. It's just another service that people offer. That's all it is. It's just another, well, if you haven't got the time to sit there and go through stuff, then the buyer's agent does that for you. And the buyer's agent's supposed to negotiate the price down for you as well, and that's how they get paid.
It's also about buying strategically as well, Guy.
Yeah, and they're going to do a load of research. They're going to find out the best thing.
Especially from an investment standpoint.
Yeah, exactly. So she'll be there to do that. I just want to let everybody know as well. We're starting to put people into the middle of the calls and stuff like that. So Richard's doing calls, Aaron will be doing calls, Max will be doing calls. Try and clean up the data and improve the process a little bit more, so there isn't as many time wasters or things like that people are dealing with. So we start.
Sorry, go on. There's no notes. I'm just going to steamroll over it and it'll become my lead and I'll take it over. So if you're not putting notes on what you're doing, then it'll just get taken off you, basically. That's fair enough, because people who are working on something will make notes. They'll say, "Hello, I spoke to so-and-so today and they said this, and this, and this is where I got with this lead, and this is what I'm doing with it." That's fair enough,
Yeah.
That's how you use your own position on the lead.
The situation is that we've taken on a lot of agents and a lot of different finance brokers and stuff like that. We give them a lot of leads, and then you can track who's logged in and who hasn't, what if they've made notes, if they're chasing stuff up. Now, we don't want anything to fall through the cracks, so we're giving people like a 48-hour turnaround time to actually do something. If they haven't done anything, then we'll take it back and take over and try and get something sorted out. I'll just let Aaron come on. Aaron, are you there? Hello, Aaron. Aaron says he's on, but is he really on? What was the question? I don't know. He's can't. I don't know. Oh, hello, Aaron. You're alive. That's nice. I'm recording the meeting as best I can. I'll have to do it off another phone, and I'll stick it onto YouTube. But yeah, I was just.
Record right now.
Say again. Yeah.
Try to record it right now.
You can record it on your end if you can. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If you want to.
I'm not recording.
All right. Cool. I won't be going for very long anyway. Probably go for another 20 minutes, and then that'll do. So I was just saying that we're going to be. I'll recap. We're going to give awards out to people that have joined the company that performed really well. We're going to be off from the 18th through to the 9th of January. The leads will still keep coming through. I mentioned Diane before as the buyer's agent, so we're going to filter stuff through Diane. We've got Simon as another buyer's agent, but Simon's a bit hit and miss sometimes, whereas Diane should be all over it. And what else was I going to say? We've got 4 other new sponsors lined up for the TV show as well, so we've had a bit of a domino effect with that. Oh yeah, and the other thing that I was mentioning before is, so we're working now to clean up the leads as they come in. So what we're doing is we'll initially send them to the finance broker and the real estate agents and give them at least 48 hours to make contact with the person. If they don't make contact with them, they'll go back to one of the people that does doing like the call center type of work. They'll call them up and try and clean them up and find out if they're a genuine buyer. If they're a genuine buyer, they can get a deal done. They'll do the deal. If it's starting to look more complicated, they'll give it back to another agent and let the agent take over and see what they can do with it. So it just depends on the situation. But we don't want to miss any leads that are coming through now, because over the last, I don't know, 8 to 12 months, we've generated thousands and thousands of leads. We've given them out to lots of different agents, taken new brokers on, new agents, and the performance just isn't there. And we're literally throwing away hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars worth of business by not following through. And I understand that people or business is difficult, and it is a lot, and it can be a bit overwhelming because there's a lot of stuff that comes in, but it still all needs to be called and chased up and found out what's happening with it, because otherwise it's just a waste. Because you're spending hours and hours, we're employing somebody overseas, multiple people overseas, to upload properties. I've signed up, I think, another 40 plus builders this year. Probably got another 2 or 3 thousand pieces of stock to sell across the country. So from my end now, all I'm looking to do now is scale up the business with new agents and new finance brokers, because I know once we do that TV show, we estimated we're looking at 200,000 leads coming in off the back of that. And this would just be general stuff, like somebody wants to buy an investment property, somebody's a first time buyer, they've now seen the TV show, they assume you're an expert in the industry, which you should be, so they'll be contacting the business. Well, you've got to have the people there to answer the calls and to deal with those inbound calls and all the rest of it, all the stuff that comes through the website and that kind of thing. So you've got to have the numbers. You can't have 30 people if you've got 200,000 people that are going to be in contact with you. We'll also be running competitions through that TV show as well. So we've got a CRM system which will talk to a telecommunications company. So when somebody texts in their details, those details go straight into the CRM system. So every single day there'll be text messages coming in, they go straight into the CRM system, and then we just allocate them to whoever at the time. So you could be looking at 50 to 100 leads a day per person. With 100 people, you can cope with that. But if you've only got 20 people, you can't cope with that influx of leads.
I wanted to answer, which is that, at the end of the day, when I'm doing the job, as you'll probably have heard, I leave the best notes according to the people when checking the CRM system. And the reason I leave the best notes is because I actually bothered to leave some notes that I'll be back like a pencil and gravel and a trail of breadcrumbs, Because when you've made 70 calls and you've spoke to like 70 different people and they're all good leads, which might happen in a month, and then you go back to sort of find out what you were doing with a particular one, you're going to find it very hard if there's no notes in there to sell to them, because you're going to the hell you were. So what I'm saying to everybody is, it helps a hell of a lot to leave good notes. Like, the more detailed, and it can be personal to you. I don't give a shit if they don't make any sense to me. They can be in Latin for all I care. But as long as you've made some notes, it shows me that it's like, right, okay, that's that person's baby. That's somebody who's taking care of that person. We'll leave them to it, And even if you don't get the sale, it doesn't matter, because it shows us that you're at least trying, And I think the problem this year has been, I haven't seen any of that. And what I will say is, like, I got a bit of a worrier on the phone the other day. So one of our colleagues said, you want to leave that and give that to one of the agents, and let's see if they can do anything with it, and you move on to the more important ones where the leads are a bit warm. And that's exactly what Guy's just said, which is, if the lead seems to be a bit dodgy, we'll leave it back open in another agent's hand, and then it'll be up to them to turn it over. And again, that's another warm lead given to one of our agents. We're never giving people rubbish. We're always getting something where I'll have engaged them. They're a bit difficult, so we'll put them in another agent's hand and see what they can do, and then we'll come back to those themselves if that agent hasn't done it, for example. So there's lots of stuff going on all the time. For all the agents that will be working for us, they're always going to be getting me and Max and other people working that are actually going to be trying to get a result,
Yeah.
And that's what about. It's not about all these excuses I've been hearing all year, which is I couldn't find the leads. That's what I've had off one of my finance guys today. He claimed he couldn't find the lead, so I had to sort of put him in his place a little bit and say, well, look, this is how easy it is to find a lead. Actually, the CRM system's really, really good. All you got to do is use the filter system at the top. And another thing is communication. If these people can't find what I'm giving them, all they've got to do is send me a quick message on Messenger or through the CRM system itself, or however you want to get it with me and say, hey, Rich, can't find any leads from you, mate, or you know, the leads I'm getting, I don't seem to be able to produce any goods. Could you help me with that? Or is new leads you could get me, Rich? Communication is key for everybody in this company to make everything better.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I agree. You can't sit there and remember everything off multiple clients. And notes are very important. It also helps with your follow-up game because sometimes you may speak to somebody that has already arranged something with another finance broker and they're in the process of getting something done, pre-approval, and they may not want to speak with one of our brokers, but maybe like another week or two out. So people like that need to be followed up. And from what I've noticed from calling through the data is, 90% of these people are really nice. They're pretty receptive. The one thing that I've noticed is I'd say like the number one objection is most people want to get into something existing. So you got to kind of break down to them, what the benefits are of buying something new construction is. You got to just break down the benefits of that. They're going to get structural guarantees with some builders. When they go to resell in the future, their home's going to be worth more than probably what they originally paid for. If not anything, they're definitely going to break even in it.
Yeah, true.
They're going to be the first time occupier in that house. So when they go to sell, that house is going to be pretty new. It's going to be in good shape. So it's going to be an easy sell for them, and you just gotta break that down to them, and kind of talk them into something new. And then if not, like Guy said, we got Diane now, so that helps out a lot. Having a buyer's agent that's in the know and is ready to take these people in and help them find something existing. That's really what they have their heart set on.
Yeah.
Aaron, I'll give you the right of yesterday, okay? So I worked for 3 hours yesterday. I made 7 calls. I got through to 3 people, and I got 3 leads. Yeah. So what does that about me? So that means everybody I got through to, I got a lead out of. Yeah. The only person who made through me that I got through to was one person out of the 7 calls, and he quite clearly said no on 6 different occasions I asked him about lots of different things. Because when I make a call, I'll say, do you need help with super? Do you need help with finance? Are you looking to buy a home? 3 things straight away, but straight off the bat, right?
Right.
Now, once all those, I put the phone down and I carry on. But I only made 7 calls off that CRM system, off the top lead list that I get. I get everybody, so a bit different for you guys because you'll be allocated leads. But still, that proves it straight away that lead list that everybody's getting on, that CRM system's very, very good. Because otherwise, I would have made 7 calls and nothing would have happened with any of them, would it?
No, I had a bloke ring me back out of the blue. I think Max must have called it, and they got my number because my number's like a default setting on a Skype account, and he was a young guy, and I passed it to Diane. I think Diane's chasing him up now, and it was easy. The guy is like, are you interested in buying an investment property for your super? Yes, I would like to do that. I've got my 5% deposit. I've been looking for 12 months. I mean, there's a lot of that that's going on where these people have been searching for something for 12 months and they haven't been able to get anything at all, and they're still looking. So all this data that we've got sat there from Domain, I think it was over 10,000 leads generated from Domain in the last 12 months. That's still there, and they're probably people that haven't had any joy. They haven't been able to buy anything. I mean, we had months and months of. I remember one particular suburb, Leppington or somewhere in New South Wales. There was nothing there. Well, there's a load of stock in there now. So those people are probably still after it. Yeah. So it's one of those things where you just go back through it and call people up and email them and all the rest of it and find out what you can get out of them. But there's a ton of stuff there.
You've got to work hard, but at the end of the day, if you work hard, the payoff's massive. It's not like selling lollipops, and I keep saying this. I mean, the payoff. It's not notes.
No,
demonstrates
the average commission is $26,500 per deal. If you sell a brand new apartment, it can be $60,000 or above or whatever. So, you know, we've got single contract stuff. I've got a meeting next week with Nevi Ortega that sets up self-managed super funds, so we could set up a project where, you know, we're contacting clients and saying, look, would you like to set up a self-managed super fund? We can sell you a single contract property. I've got multiple contracts in place with multiple developers that are single contracts. So that means you've got a pipeline for tons of business there, because most people I speak to, when I mention that to them, just to test the water, see what the response is, it's always positive. It's always, oh yeah, I'd like to do that. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. And now if I've got a company in my back pocket that will sit there and they will sign them up and turn them into a client that's got a self-managed super fund and they've got the right amount sitting in there, then they're just going to go with whatever we tell them. So if we say to them, well, look, we recommend this particular property's got a 8% yield, single contract, it's within your budget, buy that for your super, they'll buy it. It's as simple as that. And that's another project thing that we've set up and nobody's really run with it or done anything with it. And that's frustrating as well.
Once this goes on television and Guy can start selecting agents that are really good, you see, and they're paying him, they'll be happy to pay him for 100 leads and they've already been dealt with by me in the foot as well. They'll be happy to do that because so when I spoke to someone, usually they're warmed up enough to trust you, and that's all it is. Business is trust.
It's just trust,
You know, we've got to whilst the going gets good, really.
Yeah, exactly.
There'll be a competition in this business. At the moment, houses going begging, and there's a handful of people selling them, which is great for the handful of people selling them. But the next step will be there'll be 100 people selling them, and all the houses will just go boom, 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 and you'll go back to the stock list, and it'll be gone. Somebody else will have sold it.
It will become highly competitive in a very short space of time. And
time to show.
That is on the cards. And the thing is, at the end of the day, right, the administration fee thing, I had to come up with that because all the advertising costs went up dramatically. And then I was employing more and more admin people to be able to deal with the demand of generating the leads and everything, because the demand was there for it. So as I expand the business, the money generated from the administration fee will go back into paying people to work full time to upload more and more properties to generate more and more leads. And also for people to sit there and call through the data to clean it up and make it easier to deal with. Because I don't really care who sells it, I just want to sell volume. So it doesn't really make any difference to me whether the agent sells it or somebody sat in America or the UK sells it. What matters to me is that it gets done. It's you know, that cost, because it makes the company look bad if nobody rings them back. That's the other thing. You imagine you're looking to buy a house and you've seen this advert on the internet somewhere, and a week later somebody calls you. You're getting, well, I've moved on now. I found something else. Cheerio. The amount of times that I've had that feedback. Well, that's because nobody bothered to ring them.
I've worked for many, and I'll tell you this is why I've worked for many sales companies over the years, lots of different environments, lots of different things, all sorts of things. And always the number one thing when you're employed by anybody is how many sales. You know, they have to come straight to you. How many sales have you done? And if you haven't made enough sales,
you're gone.
And obviously in this day, we're self-employed technically, you know, working for ourselves, but it's still the same rules apply. If you don't sell, what are you doing? Because if you can't sell anything, and you're not following up, and you're not chasing, and that, you never get anywhere. You're just chasing your own tail in the end. You're just tricking yourself, because it's harder work not to do the work than it is to do the work. You feel better for yourself if you put your best effort in. Because 9 times out of 10, you will sell something. I've never gone to work and not worked hard and not sold something. No, I've always sold something.
No, because
it's not being off that day. I might not sell as many. I mean, I might sell 3 less than I would have done.
But it's the law of averages. Like Aaron's had a buyer lined up in Perth, and he's given him the runaround. Well, the thing is, if Aaron was to do it full time, 5 days a week, he'd have 10 buyers lined up a week. Well, not all 10 of them are going to dick him around. You're going to at least one of them every week's going to sign the dotted line and buy the property. Because you only get so many time wasters.
But They do buy it eventually, especially if you're nice enough all the way through. As long as you retain that nicety and don't get stressed out by their bollocks, that's the best way to be. Once you start going down that, I've heard people on the phone who got frustrated because the customer's not saying or doing what they're trying to make them say and do.
True.
And the more they get, the more it comes out in the void, and then the customer picks up on it and they go, yeah, fuck this guy sounds like a bellend. And that's all it is. I mean, that's all it takes is the frustrated part. Yeah. Because it's not an easy job.
But so to give you an idea, so the target is 100 real estate agents in the next couple of months. I'm going to try and sign up, and 100 finance brokers. The turnover from that will then facilitate employing more people in the background to make things better. So everybody's conversion rate will all jump up and everything else. So that's
right now. I mean, we're not getting everything uploaded that should be uploaded because we're probably getting, I would say, probably anywhere from 10 to sometimes 20 emails from builders a day with new stock. And with the amount of hours that the admin's getting right now, like I'm getting like 20 hours a week. I'm sure Leica's getting about 20 hours. 20 hours a week's not enough to upload what we need to have uploaded right now.
No.
Because we have so much stock coming in from the builders because, we have like 100 of them right now. So that adds up, and that adds up to a lot of emails coming through every single day.
Yeah.
So there is stuff that doesn't get uploaded. So, some of that's falling through the cracks too because of that. So as we take on more agents, and then the admin team can have more hours so we can get more stuff uploaded. Another thing as well is, I would like to have more hours to sit here and get a lot of these brochures done and get them white labeled. That needs to be done, but we just don't have enough hours because, I'm trying to facilitate all the other things through uploading the properties, doing back end stuff. And they're just 20 hours a week is not enough to get it all done. So 40 would be nice to be able to get a lot more done. And in the meantime, if anybody does need a brochure white labeled, just shoot me an email, and I do have a service set up now to where I can white label the brochures. So if you have a hot buyer and you need somebody and you need a brochure white label, just send me an email. Attach it to the email. Just let me know.
Yeah.
And whenever I see it, I'll get it back over to you, and you can just go from there. Send it over to your buyer.
If people aren't quite sure what Aaron means by white labeled, it means instead of it saying like Western Property Group on it or something and the builder's logo on it, it's just plain. It'll probably say My Real Estate Advisor on it. It won't say anything at all. It'll be the photographs and the floor plan, and that'll be that. You send that generic white labeled thing out. The clients seeing that, then they get the gist of what it is, and then they go, right, well, I'm interested. Then you do your expression of interest form with them.
Yeah.
Then you send that back to the builder and to me, and then we'll get the deal done. And that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Because if you send off a brochure with the builder's name on it, the client's going to see that. They're going to just cut us out, and they'll go to the builder directly. So it's important that we white label it.
Yeah, but it's very time consuming for Aaron to sit there and do it for over 100 different builders and developers with all the stock that they've got. That's going to take quite a long time, and I don't expect the bloke to sit there and do it for free.
For the individual good leads that we get for the proper cracking people that said, yes, I'm looking to buy in the next 6 months, that kind of noise coming out of the mouth.
That's what I'm saying. For now, if they get something like that, just send it over to me, send the brochure as an attachment, and I'll white label it, get it sent back over to you.
Yeah.
So that buyer is taken care of for that specific property that they're interested in.
So we've only got a couple of minutes left on this meeting, then it's going to die. So we've gone over the gist of it. So the TV show is in the works now. It'll be kicking off probably from February next year. We're going to do a recruitment side of things. Now, if anybody wants to help me recruit people and they want to put their own team together, let me know. And what I'll do is I'll make sure there's a commission structure built into that if anybody wants to become a team leader or a manager or something like that. Because ultimately, 100 people is a lot to look after. So if anybody wants to build their own team and work with me, then let me know, because that'll take the edge off for me, because there's a lot of people I'm going to have to get in touch with to try and sign them up and get them off the ground. So that's on the table as well. We'll pay percentage back every time that person does a sale for you. If they're in your team, we'll pay pay you a bit of money back on top as well. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's about it really. I think I've pretty much covered everything. I've recorded this, so Aaron's recorded at his end. We'll try and stick it onto YouTube for everybody, and then yeah, we'll go from there. And as I say, next year we're just upscaling everything and improving the whole system, streamlining it, and we're going to try and get as many deals done as possible. The TV show is going to be a huge game changer, and yeah, we won't be looking back after next year. I don't think. I think we're in a really good position.
Said in the chat she'll be a team leader. She's got one coming through.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Diane.
There you go. So yeah, so that's on the table there for anybody, and we'll, as I say, we'll pay a percentage. We'll work out exactly what it'll be, but we'll make sure they get a percentage back off the commission if their team performs. So you might end up not wanting to be a sales agent. You might want to be a manager and manage 10 people. I don't really care as long as I've got, I've got the numbers and we've got the people performing. That's what we're trying to aim to. So the next meeting is going to be on the 15th, and then we're going to break up, and then that'll be it until the 9th. So yeah, thanks everybody for your time today and your feedback and everything. Has anybody got any questions before we call it a day? We've got about a minute left. Anybody? Nothing? No. No.
I just want to ask, like, if people are still buying, what is the market like? Because I try and call people, but haven't been able to close anything as such. So just asking the team how traveling.
Well, it's absolutely all right. The last two people I spoke to yesterday seemed fairly keen and quite upbeat people, so they didn't seem like they were unrealistic about their ideas of what they wanted. And I think the financial side of it, to be honest, seems a bit of a shaky leaf at the moment, though. They don't seem really keen on talking about money as such. The actual, when you talk to them about, I had them tell me that some of them, their budget. One guy was quite, the first call I had yesterday, he was fairly reluctant. And the second guy just didn't tell me. He just wanted to speak to Scott, the finance guy. So I said, fair enough, And then Scott said he was tricky. So, I think that's the only factor really is the money side of things. But other than that, I do see them fairly optimistic of getting a property.
I think probably looking at February where it'll be kicking off again, big style, because the finance thing will be changing then, and the interest rates, we'll know where we're at with the interest rates. So I think that's when you can expect it to go off. So then you get back in touch with as many people as you can and go from there. Because once those interest rates settle down, we're all good then. Because people know where they are and they're confident then that the market's, leveled out. And we'll also have more stock available because the demand isn't going to be as high. So all these people that missed out last year, we'll follow back up with again in the new year and try and get deals done with them. So I would wait until the interest rate changes for the last time, hopefully, for the next 12 months, and then we'll be back to normal. But I haven't got a crystal ball, so I don't know. All right, I'm gonna call it a day now before the time runs out, because we've gone over 40 minutes, and I'm pretty sure it's just going to cut us off. So thanks everybody for your time, and I'll catch up with you in a fortnight. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks again. See you later.
Later.
Thank you, everybody. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. No, we know.